Welcome in, everybody. Today we are doing current events, which took place with Travis Kirk, as well as today is the anniversary of 9/11. So, what do you know about 9/11?
Type in the comments below.
What was your, what were you doing at that time? Let us know in the comments below. So yes, we will be sharing out live. And we are waiting for Marty
To begin his.
aka 2009, to start his live and see what he has on the agenda for current events. If you would like to help out the stream in any way, by going to the comment or the pinned comment, would be the best way to help out. No, I have not done the schooling merchandise yet, but I will be doing that. I've been trying to get it done, but it's been crazy. Monko, did you ever make any identity? Will you take Dad's coffee cup and go grab some?
Younger.
And I will take a big one. I will take a sleepy baby. As long as he's in a better mood and not blacking up. Even if he's blacking up, he's my boy.
Technically, he's Yonder's boy still.
Well, yeah, but
Yonder is the one who bought him. No, she keeps on calling him her son, so she might as well just have gave birth to him.
okay. There we go.
Next thing you know, that the beauty dragon's able to turn into a human.
There you go. Those are the two ways that would be best to help out the life. And we have, oh, Marty might go away. Oh. We'll see. Getting notifications that he's he posted an hour ago. Alright. Okay. And here we go.
and meat may have won World War II.
I'm gonna make that choice. I am sending us info for Marty, well, for Marty's and for my line. Of course. Keep it fun. No.
I don't care about names right now. Angel just called me an idiot.
Why? What?
Because you know the food that was sitting on the bar earlier?
Hold on 1 second, guys and girls. Alright. Yes, I do have his live muted.
Ready, I still have a minute. Okay. Careful.
Hey, what you doing down here, baby? That's it, though. Say hello. Let's see. Can I see you? Can I see you? Yes, I can. Say hello. This is my baby. My other baby.
Our baby.
I love you too.
Oh, yeah.
His name is Loki. And he is low-key a pain in the butt sometimes.
Give me a hug. Oh, yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry, buddy.
I know what I had planned on talking about today, and it's not what it turned out to be. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet.
And I kind of give that a break.
And I'm a little, what's the word? It's kind of a combination of pissed off, melancholy, and should have expected it because I knew it was coming. Because it started already, but you kind of go, well, is that a one-off? And I don't think it is.
No, it's fine.
Because if you pay attention to the people who are so filled with rage and hate that they find this acceptable, there's a lot of them cheering this kind of shit on. And it didn't start with yesterday. It didn't start with even with the Donald Trump attempts. I think it all started with Luigi.
Okay.
Little Luigi Mangione or whatever that little pissant's name is, who went out and ended a guy in cold blood at his back in the middle of the day. That's kind of where I saw this starting, because people were cheering the idea that you could go out and end a human life in that manner because you didn't like them, thinking you're accomplishing something. So this whole thing with Charlie Kirk, while it was extremely shocking, boy, I didn't expect to see what I saw. I don't find it surprising. I just didn't know when and where it was going to happen and to whom. And my concern is maybe the floodgates are open now again. And this could be an ugly back and forth too. I don't know. I don't know what to, I don't know, man. I wish cooler heads would be a really good thing right now, but I'm not optimistic. I wish I could be. So anyway, it's the date today. Today's Thursday. The 11th, September 11th. Yeah, it's the anniversary that I was going to be talking about more than I really wanted to talk about anything else today. That's for sure. Where the hell did that go? Did I open the third window? What the hell did I do with it? Oh, there it is. Never mind. So anyway, how y'all doing? Let's say hi, get it going. But first, I got two early show donations today for Avocados Diabli, who said something that I agree with. By the way, Avocados Diabli,
you are the new Streamlabs
Superstar sponsor of the day. Avocados Diabli dropped a small bullet in a tip jar, $2.23. We call it a small bullet around here. Says, I've seen more videos of people's lifeblood spurting out of a mortal wound inflicted on them in the last few days than I have in the last few years. Also, rest in peace, Flo. Kiss my grits. Is it Flo's birthday today? Did I miss one? Hang on a second here. I'm just going to put Flo in the chat, or in the search bar here. Flo. Oh my goodness. Well, that's going to be our celebrity reference today. I did not see that until just now. So we're not doing a celebrity birthday. We'll get there. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. Also a second time, another bullet in the tip jar. Thank you, sir. He says, I meant to add from the necks after the mortal wounds in that last one. Not sure if I remembered to do so or not, though I have more money for my lack of short-term memory. You did say inflict. Oh no, you didn't say from the necks. No, so there you go. So thank you for clarifying where the blood from the mortal wounds have been coming from. Yeah, if I don't, obviously I'm not showing that video today, but you can find it on X. Still at this point, I'm not sure if they started taking those down. There's so many people who posted so many different angles of what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday that it's I can't even unsee it. I'm seeing it in my brain as I talk about it, and it's so disturbing. For me, it's sad. And you know me, I've even I wasn't the biggest Charlie Kirk fan. I thought I think he's brilliantly smart. He was had an amazing memory and be able to pull up facts and topics, especially from the Bible and different religious things, out of his, just right out of his head. He was brilliant, almost a photographic memory. A guy who never went to college, just a high school graduate, but self-educated and amazingly, the amazing ability to pull up facts from out of his head. I've recalled the debate he had at Oxford University against all these Oxford students, and they're trying to get in with different things, the Bible, this and that. And he's just pulling up things right out of his head with no notes, nothing. Just could pull things and facts out of his head. It was amazing. So that's going to be the main topic that I wanted to talk about 9/11 too. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on anything today other than maybe conversing in the chat. Speaking of which, let's say hi to everybody. First in the chat today, of course, Mr. Avocados Diabli gets the ever-present and loving bell. Also, good morning, Wheezy McBlunt Blowing, aka G. What's up? Resolute Germs in the house. Also, Kara Soldier, who just dropped a super chat. We'll get there in a second. Mike Savage, Blarg. Sure You Gospel, welcome back. Tyler F's in the house. Mrz-Wild-Wolf, who was streaming just before I was, and I was gonna pop in, but I was running late, so I didn't get to do it. Also, good morning, my other favorite Canadian unacceptable views. Rick Ashbringer's in the house. Johnny Boomertech at the board. Anand, 1, 2, 3. Is here. Good morning, Green Badger Outdoors. Today is inspirational from the Pope. Yes, Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, who says, "May our Divine Father send a host of angels to sing for Charlie as archangels escort his soul to his side. Charlie was a good man taken away by the action of a bad one. Good journey to Charlie Kirk." Yeah, Charlie's just a good guy who tried to make his mark in the world. It's funny because I'm watching a lot of people online talking about he was a hate-filled hate monger, spreading hate and hate. Nah, he just had a different opinion of how things should work than you, and your opinion is that he is filled with hate. I don't think Charlie hated anybody. I think Charlie just Charlie did what Charlie did. Anyway, and then let's see who else. Anyone else pop in? Looks like I've got it. Oh, Blue Eyed Screams in the house. Good morning. How you doing? I said Tyler F and Attack Alpaca and Jedi Ghost Bear. Oh, welcome back. Oh, I did scroll up. Simon Wilkins is here too. And did I get everybody now? That's pretty close. I think I got everybody. So if anyone else shows up, just if you're in the chat and I haven't said hi to you yet, always just throw another chat. Let's go to a couple more Streamlabs priority chats, let's say, from Tips in the Tip Jar. Thank you for the Deuce from Kara Soldier, who says, oh, by the way, Deuce from Kara Soldier says, the sheer sickening and brazen audacity of people praising Charlie Kirk's death is appalling. So many comments on Facebook have shown how demonically possessed these people are, and JB knows this, but I've seen the video. I'm sickened by it. Yeah, it's well, the video of what happened is sickening, and so is some of the things that people are saying on the internet about it. Just some of these people are just awful fucking people. I might be swearing a little more than normal today, by the way. And JB, aka Wheezy McBluntblowing, dropped a tray in the tip jar, which got the dancing girl, because that's the largest single tip of the day. Although Avocado Stiabi still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor today. Thank you for the tray, JB, who says, having seen the video, it completely reminded me of the scene from Black Hawk Down where the guy on the 50 cal is shot in the neck. I know it's Hollywood, but still, as soon as I saw that, my heart sank because it was obvious he wasn't going to get up. Yeah. Yesterday when that, I must have heard about it right after it happened, because for some reason someone said, someone mentioned, someone said he might have been shot, right? And I was like, what? Is that true? So I ran down here and got on the good old internet, and yeah, and the video of it happening was prominent on the internet already. And I saw it. I'm like, oh, that's not good, because he went down immediately. And as I'm listening to other people talk about it, because I was gonna thought about going on live, but I'm like, I can't do it. Couldn't do it. I had to listen to other people. And there were reports. I was watching so I pulled up the AP just to get live or at least latest updates. And the latest updates were saying, oh, they had him at the hospital in stable condition, whatever. And Tria Logic was on, and I was watching her, and she said she knew somebody at that hospital, and said, yeah, no, he's already dead. But the reports kept saying, the critical condition, trying to stabilize and whatever. And I'm like, in my head,
You're not even gonna listen anyways.
the way that shot hit, where it hit, meaning the main, whatever that artery is called on the left side of your neck that brings blood back to the brain. I'm like, yeah, how could he be stabilized? Maybe some miracle it didn't exactly hit, but the way that it was gushing, I was like, that's not good. And then I was watching a nurse saying, yeah, you get a wound like that, and you both, the flow from both sides stopped, and that's why he immediately went down. I don't know. It's terrible. It's just terrible. Hello, Lady Kara. Nice to have you here. And TC, good morning. So, let's do this. Let's get into what the hell did I do there? Oh, I see. Let's thank you the people who have already shared the stream. As solemn as I'm going to be the whole probably stream. Although I'm probably going to get pissed off too as we look at some of these reactions. Although some of them, there was a couple surprising reactions that I do appreciate. So let's see. Thank you, by the way, Somnambule Nation, tweeting out the show as you do every day. Also dropping a let's go on my tweet of the show. Appreciate it. Resolute Germ with the Daily Wrestler. None other than The Undertaker. Which I always wondered, when they got rid of the Undertaker gig and started doing the American, the motorcycle stuff, why they kept calling him the Undertaker, but he's the Undertaker, Good morning, my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony, by the way. And then here's our Ric Flair, excuse me, woo, from Tyler Alexander. I don't know, what is this one? Oh, that's mine. Okay, and then also, let's go from Reaction in Puerto Rico. So you still think I was overreacting? No. Green Badger Outdoors with the daily, not daily, but often, the airplane gif, whatever. No peanut butter here. CG also, let's go. Lack of enthusiasm due to current events. Yeah, it's tough, man. TC also treating out the show. Appreciate it as I'm reposting these as we speak. And then all the people who retweeted me, JB, CG, Jenna Ghost-Bear, Reaction Puerto Rico, Tyler Alexander, Resolute Germ, and Somnambule Nation. And thank you, JB, for, the solemn Charlie Brown looking out at the snow thing, too. So, yeah, this is just a weird day for me, man. And like I said, I wasn't a fan of Charlie Kirk. I respected him. I think he was brilliant. I think he was smart. Definitely has his view of the world, and which mirrors much of mine. I didn't have a lot of disagreements with him. There's a couple areas where I go, Charlie, come on, man. But he was a juggernaut. So let's get into what the day is. Obviously, today is the 24th anniversary of the events on 9/11/2001, when the country was attacked via airplanes and terrorists who took over the planes. And so a lot of never forget. We'll come back to all of this in a minute, but I just wanted, that's the special day. That's the holiday. Patriots Day is also sometimes called. Other holidays, Libraries Remember Day. Don't know what that means. National Hot Cross Bun Day. Whatever the hell. I'm not even sure what a hot cross bun is. Is it just like a dinner roll, or is there something in it? Like raisins or something? What is a hot cross bun? Obviously it has the little cross over the top. I don't know what a hot cross bun is.
They should not have
National Make Your Bed Day. That's Jordan Peterson's favorite day. Patriot Day honors the heroes of 9/11. Come together, remember, pay tribute to those who lost their lives in service to our country. National School Pictures Day. Hey, I remember that, man. When I was a kid, you had School Picture Day. Do they even do school pictures anymore? Because everything's digital and shit. I don't know. The Are You OK Day, probably related to yesterday, National Suicide Prevention Remembrance. Lenineer spread the care on Are You OK Day. This would be a good day to reach out to friends and family. Just let them know you love them. Just reach out to someone who's important to you today, and say that. Renee Mann says yes, but you can order them online. Oh, I don't know. Oh, hot cross buns. I remember the song vaguely, the hot cross buns song. But I never, I never know. That sounds like an angry gay whorehouse to me. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyway, that was a weird joke to bring up now. Also, in our celebrity, we don't have a celebrity birthday lined up, but today we do have a loss of a celebrity. Actress Polly Holliday, who played Mrs. Deagle on Gremlins and Flo and Alice, has passed away at the age of 88 years old. She also coined the phrase "kiss my grits" and earned 2 Golden Globes. That was a funny character. On Alice, if you're old enough to remember watching Alice on TV. Flo, the sassy one, and rest in peace to Flo. So there you go. A couple economic numbers out today too. Core CPI is out, and it depends. It's funny. It depends on who you talk to and whether this is good news or bad news. Inflation is up nominally. CPI core month to month, 0.9%, which was expected projection wise. Year to year, 2.9% projected is what it was projected. So still barely under 3, but again, when they tell you these numbers, like especially year to year, it's the month to month that you always wonder about, and I think fuel prices went up slightly in the month of August. Now, core CPI is minus food number, or minus food and fuel. So, but someone says paired with good PPI and bad job report, we are locked into a 25 to 50% basis cut in the Fed lending rate, which is the rate the Fed lends money to banks, and has a nominal effect on mortgage rates, but definitely an effect on credit card rates and things like that. So it is possible and I'll tell you about the job report in a minute. So some people are saying, inflation is moving in the wrong direction. Headline CPI increased to 2.9% and core increased to 3.1%. So this is, if you're looking over the last few years, obviously this is that area when Biden was in office. And so we're still down here, but it has gone up slightly since the beginning of Trump's presidency. Now this one says increasing 0.4 month to month. CPI rose to 3.1. Core CPI was 2.9. Overall 3.1. Anyway, so it's in line with expectations. Didn't go crazily out of hand compared to the last time they had the reports. And then, speaking of which, the jobs report. And this is a reason also why we might see a rate cut. The job report, jobs claims are up. And they're saying, it's getting uglier and uglier. Weekly jobless claims finally jumped 263,000 versus 235,000 expected. Highest in almost 4 years. Well, I'm wondering how many of those are federal jobs. But anyway, so when we look at everything together with the CPI numbers matching the consensus forecast, the main market mover this morning is jobless claims, which came in far higher than expected. Well, higher, yeah. Now remember, also, let's remind you, we have a Republican in office. So what always happens with jobless claims or jobs numbers when they go back and do the revision? It's almost always better than what they reported initially. So we'll see how we'll look over, and that usually takes 2 months for them to do the revisions. So we'll look in 2 months to see how much they revise this month's jobless numbers. The overall signal from the week's data is clear, and one I've stressed for some time now, increasingly echoed by others. Inflation may still sit above the Fed target, but the greater risk to the economy lies in the pace and severity of labor market weakening. So that is why they think there's probably a good idea that there might be a Fed rate cut. And so there you go. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you, Avocado Steve. I'll be dropping another small bullet in the tip jar. Avocado Steve says, hot cross buns are a holdover from pagan times when they symbolize the goddess of fertility. The Christians used them to symbolize the
I'm about
crucifixion.
to take this shirt off, and
Also,
it's making me really warm.
the spice
Sorry, I got
used in
tank
them
top on underneath that. What
are
is
the same as
No.
traditionally used in
Why?
burials.
I see dead people.
Really?
Thank you. How's it
Okay,
going,
well,
guys?
thank you. Thank you. I feel much better educated on this show already. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. Still the Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. All right, let's move on. Now, we're going to talk about a little bit about 9/11. It is the 24th anniversary of 9/11, and so many of the hashtags today are related to 9/11, or excuse me, so many of the trending topics on X, the app formerly known as Twitter, are related to 9/11. So, for example, Never Forget is trending. Lots of people are doing tributes to people who died that day, or tributes to firefighters, tributes to lots of pictures of the World Trade Center. Let's pick one. Today is a dark day for more than one reason. Let us take even just a moment to remember and pray for our country. Not a bad idea. But also people showing people that were jumping out of buildings and dying that day. For example, here's the crew and passengers on Flight 93. Lots of memorials out there today. Okay, so hello, Rodline. What's up? Tucker Carlson drops this series on the truth of 9/11 today. Oh boy. Yeah, there's, obviously it's a controversial time. There's controversy about how one of the buildings fell, or how the buildings fell at all. If the Pentagon, did a plane actually land in there when they didn't find a fuselage? Was it a missile? Was it what actually happened? But the NYPD news says September 11, 2001 marked one of our nation's darkest days. Few responded as bravely as the New York City's first responders. That day, the fire department in New York lost 343 people. What's PAN? What is PAN? Oh, Port Authority lost 37. New York Police Department lost 23. And many others continue to suffer from illnesses related to 9/11. We will never forget. And so lots of pictures of the 9/11 memorial. Again, these a lot of people being given tribute to. Here's one. 24 years later, as I do every year since 9/11 2001, I've made it my goal to remember one person who died that day along with everyone else. Lauren Grancolis, who died on United Flight 93, you are remembered and not forgotten. That's a very... Oh, I see. They throw a plane out there. So lots of people giving tribute to the people who were lost that day. So the 9/11 anniversary is trending. World Trade Center is trending. Patriot Day, always remember. Here's one, shocked, numbed. Oh, that's about Charlie Kirk. We'll get to that. We remember, never forget, obviously. 9/11, the memorial. Again, just lots of people. So I have all these hashtags and trending topics bookmarked today. Flight 93 is there. So, and I always tell the story every year where I was that day. I'm sure many of you remember where you were when this happened. I had just dropped my kids off to the Montessori school because they went to a Montessori school right near my house at church, and then I was driving to my office. And when I heard about the plane crashing in the World Trade Center, I thought maybe I was listening to like a War of the Worlds type situation. I didn't believe what I was hearing. And as I'm driving to work, they're talking about it. I'm like, this can't be real, can it? And I only live about 10, 12 minutes away from my office. So as I'm driving, I'm listening to all this on the radio, and I'm like, holy shit, this is real. And so I get to my office, and there's a TV in the conference room, and everyone's in the conference room watching the news report, the live news report. And as we're standing there, because it was just at that point they only knew about the one plane that had crashed into the World Trade Center. And so everyone's watching the smoke billowing out of the tower, the other tower there. And while we're watching on live TV, we see the second plane go into the other building. And all of us are like looking at each other, like, did you see that? What? How? And so we're all going, what the fuck's going on? And so now they're saying, oh, and then they have 2 other flights they're missing and whatever. And it was just surreal. And there was no way of knowing how many more were going to happen. Then they heard about the one that hit the Pentagon, and then they heard the one that was downed in Pennsylvania. And we're just watching it all live going, we're losing our mind. And by the way, the entire world stopped. It completely stopped. We didn't have any, we had work to do because, we're in the mortgage business. We were writing files and stuff. We weren't getting any phone calls. None of us were getting anything done. It was just surreal. So we're watching it and seeing that second plane hit was really where we're like, oh, this shit's real. And everything beyond that, well, is whatever's in your history, whatever's in your memory bank. If you were alive or old enough to remember that, most people know what was going on. Hello, Richard Head's in the house. What up, Dick? How you doing? And Selected Boys here. Good morning.
Yeah, boy.
Lord Stanhope, hello. Howard Stern was crowing about his... Oh, I don't know what that...
I'm going to say
I was in ninth grade in high school, history class or civics. Korean Jesus gave his life during the Finnish Korean hyper. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Richard was in the hospital recovering from surgery. Turn on the news and bam, 9/11. Yeah, crazy. Mrz-Wild-Wolf, I was in my senior events class, current events class. Y'all are young. Shit. I was married and had kids at the time. Of course, that was 24 years ago. I can see where a lot of you'd been.
Well, if you read the
then.
midnight.
I remember seeing that too. The whole school got put on lockdown.
Marty, you're supposed to say good morning to her.
It's fine.
Nothing got done. Makes it sound like a normal day. Not in our office. We were a busy office. We wrote a lot of paper in that office.
Yeah, he was talking about it earlier.
I never knew the Elvis song was about Chinese Jesus. Okay, I don't know what you guys are talking about. Midnight said good morning. She is currently in a current events class. So there you go. Anon 123 was in 3rd grade. So yeah, a lot of you were pretty young at the time. Look it up, Marty. The Finnish-Korean hyperwar almost ended civilization and brought down 3 interstellar empires. Wait a minute. Let's. Okay, I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I don't think he's
What's this thing we have? The Finnish.
Our lives is intertwined with his life.
Finnish. Korean hyper war. What the hell
Hopefully
is
I can
this
do
about?
this without it messing up.
The Finnish-Korean hyper war.
We'll see.
Okay, the Finnish-Korean hyper war was also known as the Han-Sui-Man hyper war. Was an ancient war between the 2 most powerful empires in the world at the time. The Proto-Finnic Holy Roman Khanate faced off against the Huan Empire in a cataclysmic... What? How have I never heard of this? In a cataclysmic conflict that crashed the world with almost no remnants of humanity. Okay, what is okay, this is some fake shit. Encyclopedia? Okay. Estimated to have sparked around 8,000 to 6,000 years ago. Is this real? Okay, never mind. I'm done. I'm going to leave it linked, but I have no idea what that is. All right, let's move on. I do want to talk about the offense from yesterday. P-Dog, it's not real. No, I know it's not real. I'm just laughing because there's a whole... Literally, there's... I'm looking. I mean, it's a fake Wikipedia page, right? Let me show you. Okay, I'll put it on the screen. Look at how much. Look how much they have on this. I mean, this is like, it's almost like someone wrote out wrote out a D&D game that was just a little bit too long. So look at this. This is called Uncyclopedia, and it's written out like this is. Look how much they have the notable battles, has mysterious disappearance language, development of the war, Lemurian involvement, conclusion and conflict, aftermath. Holy shit! Someone went way too long on coming up with that. So that's funny as hell, though. It's in the links today. Trust me. All right, let's move on. Talk a little bit about the events yesterday, which, if you haven't heard about it, it's insane. Reactions far and wide of all kinds, and look, a lot of heartfelt sorrow and condolences have come out from all over the spectrum of our country, politics aside. And there's also a bunch of complete, how do I put this? Fucking assholes who've celebrated this and are filled with hate and rage. And their hate and rage is probably going to fuel more hate and rage because they're acting really fucking stupid. So let's start with this. Charlie Kirk assassinated at Utah Valley University event. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk was fatally shot in a targeted attack during an event at Utah Valley University on Wednesday. Authorities led by the FBI are conducting a nationwide manhunt for the suspect, labeling the incident as domestic terrorism amid unclear motives. Now, the unclear motives, are they unclear? Well, yeah, because we haven't found the asshole who did it. But we certainly can assume that it wasn't somebody who loved Charlie Kirk. Political leaders, including President Trump and former President Obama, have condemned the violence, urging unity and mourning Key's legacy as youth conservatism advocate, and father of two. And obviously, a picture of his family's up in my thumbnail there. First of all, rest in peace, Charlie. And condolences to his wife and children, which is awful. In fact, I think they were there when this happened. And so having to see your father, his life ended that way, is got to be brutally scary and traumatic, obviously. Charlie Kirk reactions prove two things. Evil is real and still exists. The limits of debasement of people will put themselves through for oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, it's crazy. So anyway, obviously many of the trending topics today are regarding that. Another one, there's a picture of him and his family. A lot of people reposting this picture, his lovely family, and it's just heartbreaking for them. And also there's been some incidents that have erupted. For example, in Idaho, apparently there was a vigil for Charlie Kirk in Boise, and a person decided to run their scooter through this crowd of people holding their kind of vigil and yelling "fuck Charlie Kirk," to which they promptly whooped his ass, and then the cops came and took him away. Hundreds gathered at Idaho State Capitol in Boise on September 10th, 2025 for a candlelight vigil honoring slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated earlier that day at Utah Valley University. The event turned chaotic when Terry Wilson, a leader of the local Black Lives Matter, disrupted the crowd on an electric scooter, shouting "fuck Charlie Kirk," insults, and triggering a physical altercation. Attendees clashed with him amid chants of USA and forcing police to intervene to restore order and underscoring the nation's deepening political divisions. Yeah, when you murder somebody, that's probably not going to work out so well as far as keeping unity. That's difficult, especially with the way some people are reacting. But I'm going to give credit to people on the left who had sane reactions or didn't react at all. You know, if you hate Charlie Kirk that much, maybe it's better just to shut the fuck up. That's kind of my whole take on this. So anyway, so that happened. Other things trending though, Crowder's trending because he found an email. He said, exclusive. This morning, my team received an email from an officer at the ATF, which is Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms. The email included a screenshot from what appears to be an internal message describing a weapon and cartridges located by an ATF and other law enforcement near the scene of the Charlie Kirk shooting. By the way, they have not found the shooter yet. There was a man that was arrested during the event, an older gentleman, gray hair, whatever, but he's not the person that did the shooting. There was another person who was found. There's pictures of him being arrested in the street, and there was a rifle that you could see with the scope, but they don't think that is the shooter either. But here's the memo from the ATF. Apparently, on September 10, 2025, approximately 12:24 p.m., conservative political influencer Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Mr. Kirk was speaking at the university as part of the American Comeback Tour. Multiple SLC and SLC 1 and 3 agents responded immediately. The suspect fired one shot from an elevated position on a rooftop in an adjacent building on the campus, and surveillance video shows the suspect jumping off and fleeing the area on foot. ATF and other law enforcement located an older model imported Mauser 30-06 caliber bolt action rifle wrapped in a towel in a wooden area near the campus. The location of the firearm appears to match the suspect's route of travel. The spent cartridge was still chambered in addition to 3 unspent rounds at the top-fed magazine. All cartridges have engraved wording on them expressing transgender and anti-fascist ideology. An emergency trace has been submitted. An ATF SLC is working leads generated by the trace. The firearm and ammunition have been taken by the FBI for DNA analysis and fingerprint impressions. Upon completion of the forensics, the firearm will be disassembled for additional importer information. Multiple people of interest having contacted or detained because of eyewitness testimony and review of video footage. The primary suspect is yet to be identified. ATF is assisting the investigation with multiple other federal, state, and local partners, and the case is co-led by the FBI and the Utah, whatever SBI is. So that's what he has. CNN's already saying the evil assassination attempt on Charlie Kirk is an example of both sides of today's political divide. No, it's not. One side has to risk life and limb to express opinions publicly. One acts with impunity. So yeah, let's we're gonna see some of the various reactions. We'll go back to oh, by the way, the reason I have a picture of Matthew Dowd in the thumbnail here, this dickhead, because he's been fired by MSNBC. His commentary after what happened. Didn't I keep him here?
Good.
Well, real quick, let me go back quick. Some of the things trending during this, the FBI is trending because they're looking for this asshole. By the way, speaking of asshole reactions. Well, that was timely. Not Avocados Diablo dropping 223 in the tip jar. That's not an asshole reaction. AD says, serious question. What do you think the repercussions from this will be? Bob, both from the left and the right. And do you think this will go on to be a watershed moment in history? Or will this be forgotten in a few months by most? What do I think the repercussions are going to be? I think... ever since Mr. Mangione.
I need the cripple card.
It's okay. It's in the front seat. It's in the.
I know.
Okay, I gotta pause for a second here.
Just leave the keys.
It's under the armrest. Okay. Anyway. Here, seriously, what are the repercussions of this? I think that there's going to be more of these by the left. I don't know if the right's going to start doing this, but the left now sees this as something you can do.
Good morning.
And
Mrs. P. Dog May.
I just don't I don't see it ending unless there's some sane person that everyone on the left respects that tries to tamp this down. And but the rhetoric of the left is the fact that for 10 years they've been calling people Nazis, fascists, all these things. Everyone's Hitler, everyone's this and that. And the left sees it as okay to do physical harm to these people. Good morning, Special Cat Acid. Welcome for joining. So I don't think this is going to be forgotten. You know, honestly, it's funny because I've been listening to other people talk about it, and some people say that you know, the possibilities of who would have done this. Someone, obviously, some leftist nut job, or the conspiracy could be a foreign asset trying to create discord in America, because that definitely would do that. I don't know, man. Thank you, Tyre, dropping a tray in the tip jar. Tyre says, I work with a good guy. He told me if he had a terminal ailment, he would Abraham Trump. He believes so hard that Trump is a danger to the world that he would do it. The left has good people twisted and afraid that Abrahaming people is a glorious thing. Yeah, I see people praising people have been praising this. People have been praising what Luigi Mangione did. People are saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish they wouldn't have missed when it came to Trump." Here's one from, and here's an example. By the way, it says Harry Sisson is actively deleting his anti-Charlie Kirk videos because he knows he played a part. Guess what, Harry? I've already have most of them saved and sent to the FBI. I pray they lock this snot nose up for life too. So this is here's one of his.
We have some insane breaking news. Charlie Kirk has been shot at an event in...
Oh, no, Harry. You don't get to do this. Buddy boy, you've talked so bad about Charlie Kirk day in and day out. Oh, you know, son, it's on your hands. The blood's on your hands, buddy boy. You have done so much propaganda, Harry.
Okay, this is the guy talking.
You have brainwashed so many people, Harry. And now you're going to turn around and try to act like you the
good morning, Reaction
guy?
in Puerto Rico. Good morning, Kyle. What's up?
Oh, no, you're a devil. You're a Democratic devil.
Okay, I'm going to leave that. The link's in here. I'm not going to... This is not the kind of reaction I want to hear. But I don't like... but this is a problem, too. Avocado Ciabi, what do you think the repercussions of this are? Well, people on the right are not taking this lightly and are blaming Democrats for their rhetoric. Just like Democrats blame Trump for rhetoric for... you know, various things that happen. But if you notice, like, and then they start talking about, oh, they talked about the school shooting too. Oh, the lawmaker in Minnesota that was killed, and her husband and her dog, saying that, oh, no one on the right had sympathy for those people. Oh, yeah, that's false. Many people on the right talked about that, and even Donald Trump said something about, you know, we can't have this political violence. It's not a good thing. But so anyway, let's see. DC comic writer calls Charlie Kirk a Nazi bitch and expresses her concern support for the bullet. Might want to look into this psycho. Well, of course, she's got the uniform. Look at this. That's oof. Is that the uniform or what? What she wrote was, thoughts and prayers, you Nazi bitch. Hope the bullet's okay after touching Charlie Kirk. Wow. That's some comedy right there. Someone here, I am not claiming any moral superiority. I hope Charlie's rotting in hell with Ashley Babbitt and Corey Comparatori. Well, there you go. Alex Cole is anti-right. FBI, we have the guy. FBI, no, we don't. FBI, we have the guy. FBI, never mind. FBI, have the guy. FBI, sorry, that was a delivery guy.
No.
Amateur
It
hour.
don't look like potatoes.
Yeah, that's probably
Something he got
true.
from it.
Here's one that you probably wouldn't be expecting, but I kind of already knew.
Charlie Kirk
Oops, hang on.
was just shot.
Why is this not? Hang on. We'll redo it. If you're not familiar with Jeffree Star is one of these male guy. He's a male who doesn't profess to be anything other than a male, but he's into makeup and all this other stuff. He often wears dresses and whatnot, but he's never proclaimed to be transgender or anything like that. He's just that's his thing, right? And was a makeup guru for a while, and but he has fairly right-leaning ideas, and so this is probably actually on Puerto Rico sent me this one earlier regarding this, and so this will be interesting to you. It's about 2 minutes long.
Charlie Kirk was just shot and is now passed away while he was debating at the Utah Valley College. And this happened while we've been streaming. I'm literally been editing a video. I'm about to upload it right now. And I'm literally stunned. Like, what is going on, dude? For speaking the truth, that's what happened? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
By the way, disregard the popular creator thing. That's something TikTok does now. I don't know what that shit is. Don't worry about that. He didn't put that up there.
If you watch me daily, we don't really get political in this room. We're all about positivity, makeup, sarcasm, jokes, trolling, clapping back, being fun. Okay? This is a grown man who fought for the truth, who went all around our country debating people of all walks of life, walks of religion, walks of sexuality. He debated everybody. And if you're in here saying it wasn't the truth, you are a they, them loser, okay? You are one of those people who doesn't want to live in reality. You want to live in your weird little brain up here. Okay? You are delusional. You are not right in the head. Okay? So any of you weirdos coming in here, Charlie fought for the truth. He debated people all over this country. And he didn't care what you were. He still had a conversation with everybody.
No, not
Why did I respect him?
Hey.
Because he knows reality.
So there's Jeffree Star, which is it was refreshing. I'm going to go into some of the articles that I pulled up, and then I'm going to get out of here. But Nazis is trending because one of the common themes of people on the right saying right now is the truth.
Make sure not
The left, our opponents are deplorable Nazis, a basket case of fascists, a real and present threat to democracy and impeding dictatorship, literally Hitler. The left, we can't say why people are assassinating our opponents. It's a complete mystery. Clay Travis also went off on this. Here's if you're familiar with Clay Travis from Outkick.
I am tired of hearing people say, like Barack Obama did, like Hillary Clinton did, oh, we condemn this violence. Guess what? You can't call the President of the United States for 10 years Adolf Hitler. And you can't say that he's a fascist dictator. And you can't say that anyone who voted for Trump or advocated for him, like you, me, Riley, and Charlie Kirk, are Nazis. And then when someone tries to kill us, you can't suddenly say, oh, we condemn this violence. You caused it. Look at me right now. You caused this. When you tell people that someone is Hitler, you are telling crazy people, go kill them. And I am sick of pretending that that is anything other than what they're doing. That guy in West Palm Beach, what did he say? He was killing Trump because he believed Trump was Hitler. This is what they do, all right? This left-wing violence, it's out of control. And Charlie Kirk bore the brunt of that left-wing violence. And guess what? But for the twist of his head at the last minute, Donald Trump's head would have been blown off on live television. And that is intentional. They are lighting fire.
And when he says intentional, it was the only rally that CNN had ever covered live of Donald Trump's. How'd that happen? They know. What did they know? Anyway.
And then claiming, oh, what do you know? There's a fire there. They're doing it on purpose. MSNBC, Sean, you watched this. They were live on the air saying, one of their guys said, they put out a PR statement.
Let's skip that because that's the Matthew Dowd, which we're going to come to. Let's see. I didn't keep that. So, also trending Mitt Romney and George Floyd because people are saying, well, you didn't give a shit when George Floyd died. Well, it's a completely different situation. George Floyd died because he broke a law and got caught up with police in a very bad situation. Charlie Kirk was just debating some college kids on campus. Don't compare the two. But what is this? Oh, there's I also have YouTube open where they have the breaking news here. FBI calling on public to help find suspect who fatally shot Charlie Kirk. And then there's updates on the various channels. So if you go on YouTube, look under the breaking news section and you'll find different articles. But we're going to let's move on to some of the articles here. Charlie Kirk assassinated at 31. Left-wing violence epidemic breaks out across the Western world. There, by the way, I guess in Nepal, protesters burned down their capital in Nepal. These are all the updates from yesterday. So this is yesterday's. I'm not going to go through this, but basically what happened. Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk was shot and killed during an American Comeback Tour event at Utah Valley University.
Special K on
and then just the dates in there. So this is just the timeline from yesterday. In front page, Daniel Greenfield said the left is a terrorist movement. We are up against people who want to kill us, not just Trump or Charlie Kirk, all of us. What do you think of that? Let us be clear here. The murder of Charlie Kirk is not an aberration, no more than the near murder of President Trump was. Violence is not an aberration. It is at the heart of what the left is. Yes, they think that by any means necessary is where they're at right now. And they're willing to murder people. Some of them, not all of them. Not all. But in general, I mean, if you look at some of the violent rhetoric that even some of the politicians give on talking about how you should take them out, you know, there's montages of people on the left talking about how they need to take us out. The left exists in two states, in power or in terrorism. That's it. When the left is in power, then it kills people legally, and when it's out of power, it strives to take people by killing them illegally. Charlie Kirk was murdered by a left that is not currently in power. If the left weren't fully in power, it could have done so legally, as it did to so many in Russia, China, Cuba, North Korea, and across much of Latin America. That's an interesting statement, but let's get into more stuff here. Oh, Daily Wire. Hang on a second. Since it's not already up, because the Daily Wire has become a complete pain in my ass. If it's not archived already, I'm not going to even go near it. So let's see if it's already archived. Motorcycles, 3. Son of a bitch. There we go. Let's see if this is already archived. Holy Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4. Finally. Nope, it's not archived, so we're not going to do it. In American Greatness, someone asked the question, do you think it's a turning point? Well, American Greatness thinks so. Rob Weisinger. Charlie Kirk's assassination is a turning point for America, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended. As the nation grapples with the news of that conservative activist and commentator Charlie Kirk was gunned down in cold blood while conducting one of his signature campus debates at Utah Valley University, it is of paramount importance for our political leaders both to recognize the political movement we are in and to try to defuse a potentially combustible situation. While conservatives will be tempted to demonize whoever the decided shooter turns out to be, and liberals will undoubtedly call for more ineffective gun control legislation, neither reaction can hope to lead to anything productive. By the way, this was, I'm pretty sure this was not done with an AR-15. This guy, the shot was from like 200, between 100 and 200 yards away. Probably a hunting rifle or, well, it said a 30-06, so we know it wasn't an AR-15. You know, that's because you need a long-range rifle to make a shot that accurate in one shot. Another tribute is in order to honor the memory of Kirk, who was one of the first to recognize that the radicalization of the left has been driven largely by economic disenfranchisement, a point that often gets unacknowledged by leading intellectual voices on the political right. There's a particular ideological bias that one notices in conservatives above a certain age, let's say 45, who tend to dominate the position of leadership in the right-leaning political organizations and think tanks now often referred to as conservative Inc. This bias is characterized by a certain disdain for the materialism and softness of young people who, having grown up in the wealthiest nation in the world with prosperity unrivaled in human history, are simply unable to grasp the value of commitment, hard work, and the importance of moral virtue as a path of success in life. Spoiled, coddled, and ignorant of the struggles of the previous generations, they feel they are entitled to a prestigious position in the professional world and a valued social status without having to work to attain it. The problem is, according to this view, the collapse of a strong, coherent moral code and the older understanding that the sequence of success is one that demands self-denial and the deferment of gratification. These damn young people think the world owes them a living. Kirk was uniquely clear-eyed in seeing this, and not only a disastrous political analysis, but also as a whitewash of the terrible policy choices that have caused so many Americans, particularly young people, to give up on the American dream. While it is certainly true that the collapse of traditional Christian morality and the institutions that support it over the last 50 years has significantly eroded the stability of marriage, family, communities, and other mediating institutions that have historically served as bulwarks against tyranny, the conservative Inc. caricature of Gen Z as rich, lazy, entitled is hardly complete or fair assessment of the political and social reality we face. The truth is that Gen Z, by a whole variety of measures, faces much tougher socioeconomic reality than any other American generation in memory. The decision to get married and form a family is not only negatively affected by the decline of Christian ethic, but it is encouraged by an economy and social structure that is no longer working for young people. The reality is that America, circa 2025, is not conducive to affordable family formation, and Gen Z is well aware of this. Even many of their parents are waking up to the fact that the American dream of providing the next generation with greater prospects of professional achievement and material wealth than the last seems to be on life support. And then they go on, and this goes on and on, but trying to find where that. I'm moving. Kirk later in the article says Kirk argued that the more the rising generation concludes that the current system is not working for them, the more they're prone they are to endorse radical, revolutionary, tear down the system political solutions that are purely destructive, including socialism and communism. Part of the appeal of Donald Trump and the MAGA movement is that this same fundamental perception that the current system is not working and needs to be radically revamped. But unless we make family formulation affordable again, we're going to lose the political and policy argument, especially if we focus exclusively on moral decline as the root of the problem. It's not what you would call a winning message to castigate the rising generation of voters as lazy, whiny, entitled brats who deserve their fate. There can be no better tribute to Kirk, who literally gave his life attempting to reintegrate young people into the American system and to get Republicans to wake up to the dangers of radicalization if they fail to do so, than for President Trump and the GOP Congress to enact the Charlie Kirk Act for affordable family formation. Republicans in Washington need to seize the moment so that some good can come of this horrible incident. So, interesting take there. Again, but lots of articles. Charlie Kirk assassinated. An American Thinker, Charlie Kirk and the Madness of the Left. I don't know if they have some of the, yeah, everyone I don't like is Hitler. Here's some of the dumbass posts that people are making. This guy just blocked a guy who said that I could only tell people not to celebrate Charlie Kirk's shooting because I, a liberal college professor, doesn't understand what it's like to be targeted by Charlie Kirk, who runs an organization that targets liberal college professors. What? Let's make one thing clear from the start. Charlie Kirk was the victim of a shooting in a country where he, along with other right-wing extremist influencers, have been inciting violence for years. Kirk is neither a martyr nor a hero. He is a cause. I'm trying to figure out, you know, they always say, they always try to bring up this right-wing extremist, which it's so funny because they are so few and far between. Like, you know, they always say, oh, they have the right inciting violence. They have these violent people happen. Where? Because they always bring up the same, like, 2 or 3 things. They bring up 9/11, Charlottesville, Dylan Roof, who's not a right-wing. That's fucking, the kid's an asshole. Occasional. But you can find left-wing violence almost at least monthly, weekly. There's left-wing violence. You just go to Portland for a week. You'll see left-wing violence. This guy, Stephen Beslos, it's hard to see how Trump won't exploit the shooting of Charlie Kirk to further expand his police state, even while the FBI is busy cutting veteran agents that don't fit into his sycophantic and ideological mode. So these people are just, and I'm sure you've seen some of the videos. I'm genuinely confused so much of my feed being filled with don't celebrate Charlie Kirk being shot because this gives Trump the go-ahead to violently crush opposition. Did you mean to add faster to the end of the sentence? Like he wasn't waiting for an impetus? It's already happening. I mean, these people are just psycho. But here's the one that I wanted to talk about. And this is how I'm going to finish today because I'm out of time. Matthew Dowd on MSNBC. This one's insane.
What was just said, he's been one of the most divisive. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions.
Basically, Dowd went on there.
But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive.
Let me find it here. So, thanks, AD. Another small bullet tip share. These people are actual retards. Kirk was one of the things preventing the right-leaning youth from being actual extremists. And now he is gone. Yeah, he wasn't radicalizing anybody. He was stopped. He gave people rational arguments to make. So anyway, Democrats and liberals blame Charlie Kirk and the conservative movement he championed for his own death within hours of his life being taken by an assassin at a speaking event in Utah. Quote, political violence, unfortunately, has been ratcheting up in this country, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker told reporters Wednesday, referencing a recent murder of Minnesota's Democratic House Speaker. Which, again, that was by a appointee of Governor Walz, even though he had a Republican by his name and voted Republican when he lived in Oklahoma. That guy was also very critical of President Trump prior to that incident. I think there are people who are fomenting it in this country. I think the president's rhetoric often foments it, Pritzker went on. We've seen the January 6th rioters who clearly tripped a new era of political violence. The ones who were attacked by the police at January 6th. This is going to be interesting to see how this new January 6th committee comes out. But NBC political analyst Matthew Dowd also placed responsibility for the shocking shooting at Utah Valley University on Kirk's rhetoric. You could stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying that these awful words and then not expect awful actions to take place, said Dowd, who most recently ran as Democrat for Texas lieutenant governor. That's the unfortunate environment we're in. Revelations on the river healing a nation, healing ourselves. Or he wrote that in his book, whatever. Anyway, he's been fired. he's been fired by MSNBC, which is crazy. I'm shocked.
Which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in.
Oh, it's the same clip. Anyway, he got fired by MSNBC, which is strange. Which is strange that he got fired for it, for stating an opinion. Is there an update on here that says he got fired? It says in the headline. Yeah, I don't see it there. But anyway, lots of articles coming out. J.B. Pritzker blames Trump after Charlie Kirk's assassinated. President's rhetoric often foments violence. Really? Then why is the violence being fomented by people on the left? Is he influencing people on the left to foment violence? Like, what does that mean, Pritzker? Hello, Darren Root. What does that mean, Pritzker? If the president's rhetoric foments violence against people on his side, is that what you're saying? That doesn't even make sense. If it was fomenting violence, wouldn't it be fomenting violence on behalf of the president? Well, that hasn't happened. This is him. You don't care. Hello, Puffer Smiles.
I don't even hear one.
All these people are pretending it's not political violence, but immediately blame the right when Melissa Hoffman, whatever her name is, the Speaker of the House of Minnesota, was murdered.
Whoa! Hi.
They didn't have any question then. Why would they have a question now? Why else would he be assassinated? Did he steal someone's girl? What? I don't.
Are we at lunch today?
It's all I'm getting jealous.
Good. Yeah. Jealousy's not cool. Jealousy's not cool.
Watch your paws, puppy.
Woo! Yep, that's what I thought. Okay.
January 6th, 2021. Interesting. Again, let's use linear time here.
Mom.
But again, and also, what's happened since then from the right? What political violence have you seen from them, from the right, since that day? Which political violence? Interesting. Anybody? No volume on video? You can't hear that? Really? It's all the way up. You couldn't hear my video. That's interesting. It's on full blast. Okay. Anyway, so that was Pritzker. Other articles: House Dems shout no when Boebert requests a spoken prayer for Charlie Kirk. Now they did have a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk in the Congress, and then Lauren Boebert got up and wanted to do a prayer, and they got a kind of a verbal kerfluffle on the House floor, and so because they were like, why are we? Other people in the chamber didn't want to say a prayer for Charlie Kirk after they just did a moment of silence. That's just some dumb shit, honestly, if you ask me. But there are people that may be losing their job. Miami doctor really glad that Charlie Kirk got himself fucking shot. This is a doctor, an anesthesiologist. Dr. Tatiana M. Atkins, who works at Larkin Community Hospital, says she's glad Charlie Kirk got himself shot.
I'm just really glad Charlie Kirk just got himself fucking shot, because he's right. Empathy is dangerous to society. So no one should give a fuck that he's dead. He said it. I'm just saying his words.
Are you?
All I'm doing is using his words. You can't be mad at me for using his words.
I think
Empathy is a new wave thing and is very problematic. You right. No empathy for you. Zero.
Okay. Well, you're special. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes for her to lose her job. Argentina's Javier Milei honored Charlie Kirk, though. The whole world lost an incredible human being. He's met Charlie Kirk a couple times. New York Post, Charlie Kirk was all about debate. This killing is an attack on free speech itself. Yeah, I mean, yes and no. I mean, it's an attack on a right-wing political figure. That's what I call it. I mean, there are lots of people out there who speak on campuses and speak regularly. Now, obviously, him having dialogue with people has been his thing. Kind of took that mantle away from the Ben Shapiro's and other people who go to Crowders or whoever go to college campuses. Charlie's been doing it nonstop for 5 years. So anyway, and then the Daily Wire, another one. Trump orders flags lowered half-staffed in Charlie Kirk's honor. I have a hard time with that. That's an official U.S. Thing, but if Trump wants to do it, he can do it. But I think that should be an honor bestowed on, I guess, figures that are actually in the government. But if he wants to do it, that's his. He's the president, so whatever. So anyway. I don't have a whole lot more to say other than there's a lot of crazies out there who are celebrating this, and I think they are shitty people. There's it's a very sad thing that people are resorting to basically straight up murder to fight their political opponents, and it's something that we hear a lot from the left. Like they are some of celebrating it, and I think some big name in American left politics needs to tell them to shut the fuck up and don't start this, because they don't have the most guns, and I pray that nobody on the right decides to emulate what happened. And my fear is that it is going to happen. I don't want it to happen. I really don't want that to happen. And but I don't know. This is a can of worms that's going to be pretty tough to close, if you ask me. Cenk Uygur was crying about it too. He was not happy about it. I mean, there's a problem people, left-wing people. Him and that one little debating guy, I don't remember his name, was in tears saying this is terrible. He doesn't agree with anything Charlie Kirk says, but the idea that someone's going to straight up murder him is so wrong. And Dean, what's his name? Dean Withers, is that his name? Here, let's find that before I go. Let's find that before I go, because I said there are people out there on the left who had the right take on this. Dean Withers. Oh, Masterson's an asshole. Let's find. Here's this is Dean Withers. If you're not familiar with him, he's one of these little debate bros. But here's his take.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine.
This guy couldn't stand Charlie Kirk and wanted to debate him any chance he got, and completely opposite spectrum of Charlie Kirk. And again, these little pop-ups are TikTok pop-ups. They're not him putting them up there.
Imagine being a 12-year-old, watching your dad fucking die. Nobody deserves that. Not even Charlie Kirk.
So that's Dean. I want to see what the heck was.
It just goes to show.
My question for the people that support Charlie Kirk. Okay, let me
conversation about.
Let me give you one of the assholes too. This is Walter Masterson.
We're at a very real moment where we could have a real conversation about gun violence, gun control, access to mental health care, expanding access to mental health care. If you support Charlie Kirk, are you going to have that conversation?
So he's going to talk about gun control.
Are you going to scapegoat trans mass shooters, immigrants, the radical left, that stuff, right? The choice is yours. Just for the record, I've been putting my body in harm's way for years. There's videos of me going up to people that don't like me and calling them out and mocking them, all non-violently. You will not find a video of me raising my hands towards someone. My hands have stayed.
Okay, he's going to virtue signal about himself. There's going to be a lot of people asking that question, those questions
Kirk
too.
has all non-violent videos.
I wish I had time to do more, but maybe I'll do some more tomorrow. But this is obviously this is not a gun control issue, is it? Is it a gun control issue, or is it a violence? That gun didn't shoot itself. Certainly assholes with gun probably are a problem. But anyway, I've gone too long already. Here's today's links. And that's the end of the show. So hope y'all have a better day. We may talk about, well, I'm sure we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow we'll watch videos of reactions, good and bad. And that'll be it. So that's it. I got to go. Thanks, everybody. My name's P-Dog Knight. See you tomorrow. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
Alright. So there was a few, we have 5 minutes remaining. There was a few comments that we're going to go through. Years of practice. Just think that's what's stopping typing for a long time.
Yeah. Wait, how did you stop typing for a long time?
I wasn't really on the computer. Hey guys and girls, I will have the link.
Select the boy. Later peeps hug your kids as tight as you can.
Mm-hmm. But I am going to cut that so you can't see it. Go over to ours. Y'all want to check out the links that he has. Go check him out.
And Natasha asked, did you make your kids watch the video of Kurt getting killed?
Got a question. In history, did they make you watch the video of Abraham Lincoln's assassination? Or how about JFK's? Or any of them?
For the school that I just recently went to this last year, in history, they made us watch many people getting killed. Yes, they did show Abraham Lincoln's assassination.
I was just about to say. Baby girl, you read my mind.
So we didn't really have a choice in the matter of watching them get killed. And when
assassinated. There's a difference between when someone is being killed and assassinated. Assassinated, there's a reason for it. Killed is just a act of violence that's craziness. So I will say this. If what I teach my daughter offends you, I'm sorry, that's on you. I'm going to teach her history. I'm going to teach her current events. I'm going to teach her the truth. You want to keep being filled with lies and follow the lies? Good on you. You have your own opinions. You have your right to your own opinions. Okay? Now, I'm going to teach my children the best that I can. Do you know your constitutional rights? Mine do, for the most part.
Somewhat.
So for the most part. The first 12, yes. No, first 6. You guys know really good. Anyway, you know what they are? Do you know how to defend yourself from a tyrannical cop? Do you know how to defend yourself from your own feelings? I'll just say it that way. Because at this point, yes, feelings suck. They hurt. It's a part of life.
That's an understatement.
I teach my children the way they need to be taught because the brick and mortar is not going to. Were you in here when we watched the video for well, besides homeschool, the Battle of Athens, Tennessee,
Yes,
1946.
When we watched the movie, yes, she was.
Okay, this is for all. Okay, that there teaches why we have our Second Amendment rights and why it shall not be infringed upon.
No, I know for a fact Uncle Josh was in there because he went, shh, I'm trying to watch the movie.
I know that. I'm sorry if it makes you feel uncomfortable. I'm not stopping teaching my children the facts. I teach on facts, not emotion. Because if you are living life through emotion and not through facts, you are missing out on so much. So much. And on that note, what did you think? What did you think of the video today? Or the Charlie's Live today?
Charlie's Live?
Oh. Wow.
Marty's Live?
Yeah, that too.
It was pretty good. A little upsetting though. More than a little, actually. Still.
What was he teaching about?
About the assassination of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff that the people said was sad, but that one dude that looked like he was a freaking kid, how he was on the opposite side, he still showed respect and stuff like that.
Yeah, he did.
And he was even sad that he ended up passing away. That's a true person.
How they did. And he didn't think as Charlie did. You know, he was waiting to debate him. Which, hey, come here. Which, that debate would have been a really good one. Because he would know how to debate with facts, not feelings. You are a butthead today. Stop pausing it.
I didn't mean to pause it.
We don't really need to watch that because, first of all, it's acting up. And second of all, we could see the comments without that. Oh, without comments. Alright.
Did you make sure it's on top level? Not top all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, guys and girls, that is it for current events. We will be back here shortly after a brief break. And I think we're gonna do well, we only have an hour till lunch. don't know about math. I think maybe spelling. No. How about an unboxing? Okay, then maybe. Yay! And on that note, thank you guys for joining us. We hope you like what you see. Don't forget if you feel like what you see.
He's roaming the Rocky Mountains
too. Subscribe, click the little bell, and smash the like button. And always remember, no matter what life throws at you, no matter what crazy curveball is thrown your way, at the end of the rainy day,